Okay, just a quick sound check. Can everyone hear me? Just want to make sure you can all hear me loud and clear. All right, looks like you can. Excellent, loud and clear, wonderful. Okay, to all of you who are here, hang on, sorry, I've got my social media guy telling me they can't hear, hang on. Everyone else can hear me. You're the odd one out. All right. So, okay, let's do Kraken charts. All right. So, welcome. I'm not sure how many people have been following me on my podcast, the TraderCobb Crypto Podcast, but I've been talking about the market. Well, I talk about it every day, 5 days a week, right? You should look. If you're not already subscribed to the TraderCobb Crypto Podcast, then go and get it on iTunes and everywhere you can find a podcast. We are literally everywhere right now. What I was talking about last week in the bi-weekly free video newsletter, which is at tradercobb.com/free tools, was the way the markets reacted. Now, I've got to say, this time last week, this was the Sunday candle, and I very openly, I mean, I'm honest, like, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about making good trades. Now, on the Sunday, we'd seen this big, massive nearly 13% candle that pushed up really high. Now, I was expecting to see that continue on. You know, when you see a candle like that closes so close to the highs, there is definitely, after pulling back into that cradle zone, there's definitely I suppose, a momentum swing and shift that you would expect to maybe, continue on. We didn't see that. And it was on this day, which was the Monday. That was the Monday candle. When I saw that Monday candle, as soon as it didn't break the high of that day prior, I said, look, I think we may see consolidation. Now, I'm not saying that to pretend that, what am I trying to say here? I just call it how it is, okay? I thought it was going to go high here, and I said it looks like a market that looks very much in tune with a parabolic move if we were to break the high of this candle. We didn't see that. Now, all it took was one day. The fact that this day here did not break that Sunday candle, for me, said likely consolidation. And throughout, whether you were watching my Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or you were in my Slack community, I said that we'd probably see a consolidation, and I was hoping to see a consolidation into this level. Now, we did see a consolidation. We saw a higher low here, and look, I'll be honest with you guys. I'll be straight up the guts, right? I got long on the high of this candle with the stop below the low here. Yes, I know. For all of you that have done my trading courses, you'll know that would specifically not be a cradle trade, simply because there's resistance above. But, and I say this as a but, and I'm not saying this to try and make you go away from the rules that you know you have. I've been trading for 13 years, and I was willing to take a little bit of risk on that one, thinking we'd break through, okay? And we did. And look, it turned out in my favor. I also was long from back here. Now my stop loss has moved to here, so roughly about break even. And if this continues to move on, I'll move my stop loss to here. So I've got a couple of different positions on Bitcoin long with margin, with leverage right now. So for those of you who do follow me and do know what the cradle is, I do apologize, kind of, that I did take this trade. Now, I'll caveat that by saying to you that after having as many years as I have as a trader, and I'm not talking about years as a trader and educator, I'm talking about I've made my living for the last, prior to the business, so I started the business, 18 months ago. and it has provided me with income. Prior to that, I had been exclusively trading. So I got 2 children. I live in Bondi Beach, Australia. So it's not like I'm like a 22-year-old who can live on, ramen noodle, ramen. I can't even bloody say it. 2-minute noodles. I've been trading for a long time, and I know how to make a living and the pressure of which it takes to create that living. So all the bullshit aside, I'm a real trader. I decided I was willing to take the risk that I took, which was significantly decreased, to enter. Now, what I'd also been saying is that if it was to break through, actually the 4 hours when I was looking at on Sunday, if it was to break through this high, I said I think we will see the potential for a continuation. Now, I didn't expect it to go quite as strong as it did. Now that it's moved to new highs within this trend, I look, honestly, you're going to love this. You're going to love this. I can't see much stopping it from getting to 10,000 this week. To the point for which I will say to you right now, I think we'll hit 10,000 this week. And I'll also say, look, I've been wrong before. And I will be wrong again. So it's not financial advice. No freaking way in the world. I will never do that. I'm here to commentate what I see as I see it. Just the same as the guys who are on the footy show or whatever program that you watch. It's about understanding, here are the probabilities, here are what is going on, here is what is going on in the space, and here's how we react to that. Now, since we've pushed up with such a strong candle in the last the 24 hours before 10 a.m. this morning, a very strong close, 8.38%. Up $674. That's a pretty bloody good close, right? Now, if I move down the time frames, what you're going to notice is divergence. You know what? Do you know how much I care about divergence when I'm in a trade? Very, very little. How much do I care about divergence when I am looking to take a trade? A lot. So divergence in MACD, and as you can see, like I use the 10 and 20 and the MACD. This little one down here, look, it doesn't matter. Like, I'll take you. I've been experimenting with that. I'll take you to this chart. There's no bloody thing down here. I'm looking at price action, moving averages, and MACD. It's really simple stuff, but I'm working from a very strong watch list, right? So checklist. So we've busted up quite nicely. If we look at the weekly, let's be honest, it's overextended. There is no two ways about it. It is massively overextended. But this is Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. The public can move. There is nothing in the way of resistance to $10,000. And the way this market has been trending, the way it's been playing out, I really honestly can say that, it would come as absolutely no surprise to see $10,000. I'm not saying we're going to close above 10. I'm saying there's nothing that would stop us from touching $10,000 this week. And I'm pretty happy about that because I'm positioned across not just Bitcoin, but some of the other top 10 alts. Questions. The Pied Piper. If only I was. Bitcoin is back, baby. What do you think of BNB? Hi, Abakar. Let me take you through a few things. I'm going to go from Bitcoin to Litecoin. Sorry, to Ethereum. I'm going to check this up here on the 4 hour. Now, it's interesting to note what the rest of the top 10 is doing, because we tend to see when Bitcoin goes ballistic, the alts trail. And then when Bitcoin slows, the alts catch up. Now, if you are privy to the fact that what you see on your chart right now, of course, there's Bitcoin on Coinbase, and there's Bitcoin on BitMEX. So until ADA, that's our top 10, more or less, okay? Now, within that top 10, it carries about 68%, I believe it is. Now, that'll have changed since last time I checked it, but it carries a huge portion of the market's, well, the market cap. So you'll know if I just drop this down, when I do my live trading full scan, I'll cover these. Bushka, a whole bunch of those motherfuckers. Ooh, excuse me. I'll also cover the margin pairs, which is all the BitMEX, Bitfinex, all that sort of stuff. Cross with Bitcoin, cost $1. And I've also got this one, which is a stable coins, which they cross 2 or 3 times because there's more than one stable coin. But where I like to operate from as a trader who does put significant amounts of money into a trade. So if I'm going to risk, let's say $3,000 on a trade, that's risk with margin, right? I don't want to be trading bloody, where are we? I don't want to be trading something like OMG USD. Let me show you why. Look how thin it is. See all these little gaps in between? That's saying there's no orders between there and there. There's no buyers or sellers in between there and there. Now, if I compare, this is a 15-minute chart. Let me just give you a little insight into why I would take one over the other. This is OMG or OMG, whatever you want to call it, right? Let me show you 15 minutes on Bitcoin. Notice how there are no gaps. It's every single price point is met. So for me, as someone who trades larger volumes, for me, or larger position, I should say, I need better volume. So I am so stoked to see the top 10 pumping away. I really am. Because for me, it allows me to trade the way that I want to with the position sizes that I want to. And it's a really good thing for the market. Because if these 10 puppies are moving, the rest of the market tends to move with it as well. Let me go to some questions. I'm waiting for a pullback before adding more Bitcoin. Will be interesting to see how it plays out. I agree, Jason. For those of you that are putting in adverts, then, right up your bum. What else you got? Bitcoin SV silencing the haters. Whatever you say, Butter. Whatever you say, Max. What are your thoughts on BNB USDT? I'll have a look at that. You're so authentic, mate. Thanks, brother. Yes, I am who I am because you know what? Everybody else is taken. Craig Cobb. That's my name. Thank you. Scott Wright. Do you consider there could be a bit of a squeeze on Bitcoin longs and Ethereum longs as being so high? Squeeze, foreign language to me. I don't play into all these things. I read the charts as I see the charts. So I know people talk about short squeezes, long squeezes, all that sort of stuff. I know also people say, oh, there's really good volume on the break today. Of course there's good volume on the break today. The second there's a bloody big candle like this, the second there's a big candle like that, let me show you this. I'll look, I'm going to do it again, right? Oops. The second there's a bloody big candle, there's also volume. Now let me help you to understand that you don't need volume as an indicator, all right? Big candle, big volume, right? Big candle, red, seller volume. Big candle, green, big volume. You're not going to find a candle, or very, very rarely, where in the direction of that trend, like this one, big green candle, big green volume. No shit. The way there is a big candle is by excessive volume. Now, if it's going to be a green one, it's because there are more buyers than there are sellers. I don't need volume to tell me that. So the sooner you forget about volume, the sooner you have got one less thing to look at, one less thing clouding your judgment and your charts, and you can actually get at the core of what's actually going on. If you're to add to your position on BTC/USD as a cradle trade, are you looking for a pullback into the old resistance? Yeah, absolutely. I'd love it. I mean, let's be honest. Because we've got convergence now on this 8-hour time frame, you give me a cradle right here, I am going back in again. My objective through a bull market run, through a strong run, is it's not to just take one or two trades. My objective is to get positioned well and to add to that position. Scale out 1-to-1, risk-free, bam, let it go. Scale out 1-to-1, bam, position free, let it go. So if we get to 50,000 and we've got a real possibility of doing that, and we do that in a parabolic type move, I'm going to take every goddamn entry that I get. Because even if I scale out the whole way through, let's say I take 10 trades and scale out half each time. Well, I've got balls deep, 5% full risk, right? 5% full risk, but with no risk, because the first trades are risk-free and in profit. So I'm looking to build positions, build, entry, scale out, bang. That trade is now risk-free. Bang, another one, bang, scale out, that trade is now risk-free. Now, when I get good opportunities to trail my stop to lock in profits, God damn it, I'm going to do it. But that's how you take an account worth $10,000 and turn it into $1 million in a year. It's by trading well. And by managing your risk, scaling in, managing your risk, and letting the goddamn puppy run where the goddamn puppy wants to run. Now, it's a big thing that's missed in this marketplace, and that's the only reason. Last time I took a foreign exchange trade or a bond trade, I think September 2017. I've got no need to trade those shitty markets anymore. I don't mind sitting back and waiting for the opportunities in this market, because I tell you what, the money that was made in 2017 that I did as someone new to this space, it doesn't matter if I'm new or not, I'm a trader, I've been trading for 13 years. It was phenomenal. Now I'm even smarter because I've got the flow of how these bloody things work. You either get involved or you don't. Sure, sitting back and hodling, yeah, it's good. Sit back, get a good trade and hodl with 10, 50, 100 times margin. It's the difference between drinking, I don't know, something shit to something good. It really is. Questions. Do you think Bitcoin miners may look for better profits somewhere else after halvening? No. Because if they are a proper business, and I am involved in some Bitcoin mining operations myself, if they have a good enough business model and cheap enough electricity, the halvening should not hurt them, it should help them. Bottom line. Hey Craig, what are you tracking in the bottom section below MACD? Convergence. That's it. Philippe, I just want convergence. Can I enter with $2,000 in Bitcoin? Would it be worth it? I can't tell you if it would be worth it, but the answer to the first part of your question is yes. You don't need to buy a whole Bitcoin, and you can diversify across many different asset classes. Now, like I said about the way that we trade, the way that I trade, you can risk $100 on a trade, and if you get a $50 stop and it moves $1,000, that's 20 times the money you risk. Now, if you risk $50 on that trade, that's $1,000. Now, we know Bitcoin can move $10, $20, $30, $40,000. You do the math. You work out if the education I can provide is worthwhile. It's up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Lively tonight, yes, Adam, I am, because honestly, I've got several trades on and I'm doing very well, and I'm very happy. God honest truth is I went on the weekend, took the entire 2 days away from the markets, spent time with my family, went fishing, went spearing. I'm finally starting to feel really back to the Craig Cobb that I am. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. It feels really good. All right, so let's go to Ethereum. Let's have a look at what's going on here. Of course, it's a high, lower, high, high. Look, I'm not really that interested in this chart, if I'm absolutely honest with you guys. There's a bit of resistance we've busted through here, but there's not much going on there. EOS, here's a chart that I do like very much, hence why the Fibonacci's put in there. Let's drop another fib from there to there. But let's just drag them both out. Hang on. Okay, the 61 and the 38.2, pull me back into there, $6.60. Yes, 4-hour cradle, give that to me. I'm actually currently long based off of that right there. So I have scaled out. Yes, it's about 2 and a bit to 1 right now. So another trade that's in profit. It's in profit currently, but if I got stopped out, I will not lose a dime. Why did I take that trade? Because I followed my strategy, pulling back to the old resistance level. We spoke about $5 to $6 for quite some time. It pulled back. The entry was above $6. I took that, you beauty. The reason I took that above Ethereum Classic, and if you look at that chart, it's very similar, is because, look, honestly, the Ethereum Classic pullback's better. But the EOS against the dollar has better volume. So for someone like me who trades on a larger scale, the EOS trade was the better one, and it just turns out that it move better than Ethereum Classic. Happy days. Moving along, Stellar. Mate, there's not much going on there. It's a pretty ugly chart. There's nothing much to talk about. XRP, of course, again, it's had a nice little couple of day move. It's been grinding and pushing. A good 6% move yesterday, but it's not got the cyclicity that I'm after as a trader. On the 4 hour here, I mean, would I trade it if it pulled back into this 39.40? Let's have a look. Let's do some fib work. My initial theory is no, but let me just see. There's a couple of tests through here, so let's go to 2 hour. You'll note, look, right. I'll just draw this in. Bang, bang, bang. Okay, there you go. 1, 2. Tests of resistance broken through. Pull back into there. It doesn't match up with any fib levels. Let's look at the 4 hour. I'll be back in the cradle zone, but got to be honest, the way I'm currently positioned in the market as far as profitable trades, good runners, good positions, great trades. I've got 4 trades on, 2 on Bitcoin and a couple of elsewhere. I'm really, my risk profile right now is greatly diminished. I'm not chasing a move. I'm waiting for the best trades. Now, I'm not saying that if it doesn't pull back into that level and give me if it doesn't pull back into this level and give a great cradle, I'm not saying I won't take it. I'd more than likely take it with less risk. And the reason being is against the US dollar. I love trading margin against US dollar because US dollar is relatively stable. Crypto goes Burko. If I'm going to trade, say, Ethereum against Bitcoin, then I've got 2 very volatile asset classes to trade with. It's much, in my view, it's much easier as a trader to make profit when you've got good trends against the US dollar because the US dollar is far more stable. If it pulls back into this region, yep, I'd be up for it, but I've got to wait and see. Litecoin, look, it is pumped really well. It led Bitcoin out of the gates. One thing I'm looking at here at 109.50. Look at this: support, real strong level, right? Now we've just tapped through that. I'm not ready to trade this yet. What I'd love to see is to see this push on or hold and then pull back. Give me a level of 109 or 180, 108.80, whatever it is. That's something that I'll be more interested in. It's not there yet. Let me just hit some questions. Any chance we can see retrace to 5.4? I missed the run. There's always a chance, mate. But I'm not seeing it. XRP chart looking primed to run. Will this be affected by the Bitcoin run? I don't. When I was getting into trading on these markets in 2017, XRP was almost a stable coin. And for those of you who've been around for a little while, you'll understand that XRP used to hold its value a lot. So if Bitcoin was falling, XRP would hold. And I used to use that as a stablecoin. So I would bank my profits in Bitcoin, then I'd move it to XRP. And then I'd go again and so on and so forth. So I ended up having a really good sized position on XRP. And I was very fortunate. I say fortunate because I didn't see it coming. I was very fortunate to see XRP when it ran up towards that $3 mark. I got it at like $2.65 or something like that. So I had that was the best trade of my entire life. Literally. I made more money on that than I have done in anything that I've ever done before. But that doesn't mean it will happen again. Okay, it was a very different market back then, and I just got lucky. I'm willing to say when I get lucky, I got lucky then, right? There was it was no trading strategy other than the fact that if I banked back into XRP, I knew it was relatively stable at that time. That was the only reason. Do you find Bittrex a safe platform as you said you use high leverage? BitMEX, yeah. I'm not saying that I see it as a safe platform. I say that I like BitMEX for its ability to provide me with leverage with less. So I hold most of my crypto in in cold storage, and a fair bit across different exchanges, so I can move around as a trader as I need to. But the beauty of BitMEX, especially considering I trade nearly anything that's XRP related, shorting against Bitcoin, which has been a very good trade for a long time, or long BTC USD, another good trade for the last couple of months. You get so much more leverage, so much more margin. So I don't need to hold as much Bitcoin in that account. Now, I see risk as associated with the platform as much as I do to my own trading, right? So let's say I'm going to hold, let's say I've got 50 Bitcoin across 6 platforms. Well, when it comes to BitMEX, I know the margin's really high. So I don't need to have 30 Bitcoin there. I can have 5. And I can still get the position size that I require. As long as your liquidation price is lower than your stop loss price, then you've got enough margin. Now, I've topped up my BitMEX account today. And the reason that I have is quite simply that I've got a few trades on, and I want to make sure that next time there's an opportunity, I can get the size position that I want. When it comes to trading, you've got to dance the dance. You've got to work it out. And it takes a little while to get your sweet spot. But I got no problem with BitMEX. I had massive trust issues for quite some time. But it's the best of a bad bunch. Someone said Cardano ? Indeed. Is Bitcoin a pyramid scheme? Nothing more to say. What do you think about BNB? Sorry if you've already covered it. I'll have a look at BNB. Do you trade BitMEX? Yes, I do. Do you teach how to trade? Yes, I do. In the additional content and in the apprentice videos in MarketView, I do. Hey, Craig, wondering what you keep your trading account stored in when not in trades. Do you have a certain percentage in Bitcoin? Yes. And US dollar? No. And ETH? Yes. And are you constantly changing to get position size? Yes, I am. Most of my accounts are sitting in Bitcoin. I believe in Bitcoin. And if I'm sitting in, let's say about 30 Bitcoin across 4 accounts. If Bitcoin falls, which it did in 2018, my role and my job is to be able to find options to hedge and using leverage for that. Now, I can very confidently and comfortably say that of the major falls in 2018, May onwards, when the volatility sort of decreased a little bit, yes, myself and my members were all able to take shorts. Bitcoin Cash used to be the best for a hedge because that was before BSV, right? All that wankerage that went on. BCH used to, if Bitcoin fell 1%, Bitcoin Cash would fall 3%. So naturally, it was the best shorting hedge platform available. And yes, I did short and I did hedge, and my members did do very well. So you don't need to sell back into USDT or USD or AUD or GBP or EUR or whatever your currency may be. It's about knowing how to manage your portfolio at a certain time. And I'm very thankful to say that, yes, we did that very well last year. Do you teach how to trade with margin and leverage? Yes, I do, Nathan. I certainly do. I'll look at the Cardano. Your best update and video. Oh, thanks, Pepe. I got it at. Okay, cool. All right, let's continue on to the next one. The next chart. Bitcoin Cash, which people are asking about. What do I think of Bitcoin Cash? Well, right now, it's consolidating. It's as simple as that. Until we break out through that resistance, and it's got to get above this level here, which is the high of 452.19. That's the bit for next chart. Until we get through there, there's not much to really talk of. If Bitcoin does continue to sail higher, of course, we'll see Bitcoin Cash likely follow. But right now, it's not on my trading radar. BNB, a lot of people asking about it. Let me just hit this for a second. This did have an option today. Look at this. Look at the 8 hour. Beautiful. Look at this. Pull back into the cradle zone. Move. Back into the cradle zone. Move. Back into the cradle zone. Move. Back into the cradle zone. Now, just because it comes back into the cradle zone does not mean there's an opportunity to trade. Candle's too big. Convergence looks fine. No problem. 16 hour. Well, what have we got? Convergence. It is fine. yes, there are opportunities or there are pullbacks that I don't trade, and it's not because there's not opportunity available. It's just that if you want to be a good trader, I'll tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to be disciplined. If you haven't got discipline, I could not care less if you took X, Y, Z and it did a 10x. You're going to give that 10x back. Luck is not a goddamn strategy. It won't work long term. So Binance, yeah, give it to me. I want it on the daily. Get me back to 29 bucks, 29, 30 bucks. Give me a daily cradle in there, and you little ripper, I'll be all over that. We've been long since back here. I got out up here, and yep, I'm back in Bitcoin. I have no issue about that at all. I don't hold things forever. I hold things while they're profitable, and when they're not, I get out. I move back to Bitcoin. That's the way I roll. Tron's had a pretty solid little run lately. Of course, high, low, high, high, pushing, or nearly a high, high. I'm not a real fan of it. Look at the daily. It's a little bit messed up. It's a little bit choppy. Look at the 4 hour. The 4 hour looks great. High, low, high, high. Pull back in here. Yeah, maybe, but it's not the sexiest thing I've ever seen. Cardano, it's honestly a bit of a mess. I'll drag that up a little bit higher now. And look at that. There's resistance right there. Until I break through there, I'm not interested at all. So the last thing I'm going to come back to is look at the question is, did you miss out BSV gains? Yeah, of course I missed out on BSV gains. I don't stand for what it, I just don't stand for what it believes in. I am a trader. I'm an investor. I want to make money. So if I wanted to buy a BSV, I would have. I just don't like all the bullshit. I just honestly, God honest truth is, I don't care who's Satoshi. It doesn't worry me in the slightest. I just think that all that hullabalooza is bad for the industry, and I'm not going to support that. I don't care if I can make a 10x off it. I'm not going to support that absolute rubbish. I'm a man of moral. You come into a space, and if I'm a fisherman, which I am, right? I've known fishing my whole life, so I'm going to take my experience outside of crypto because I'm pretty new, 2 years in this space, right? And you come to my spot as a fisherman. You're polite. You're a nice person. Yeah, I'll show you the ropes. It's all good. Let's fish together. You push yourself in there and tell me that you're the god of fishing, that you're the best person ever. Every fish I've caught, you've caught one 10 times bigger. You've used lighter line, lower boats. You've done this, that, and the other. I'm going to look at you and go, you're an absolute wanker. Even if what you say is true, the way you've approached it, I don't care. You're a douchebag. Now, Craig Wright can do whatever Craig Wright wants, and it's up to him. I've got no issue with Craig Wright. Not at all. My issue is that I just think that all the politics and all the shit that's gone down around the BSV saga, I do not see that as a businessman, as a positive thing for the space of crypto assets. And for that reason, I literally refuse to trade it. It's too volatile. It's too personality involved. And honestly, I think I can make money without being sucked into all that crap. I'm an honest man and an honest buck for an honest job. When you go down that path that certain parties have gone down, I can't support that. So BSV for me, and look, it's okay if certain people that are watching believe in it. Look, I've got no beef with you. That's fine. To each their own. It's just that with my skill set and with what I do, it doesn't fit into what I see as being, to pull a page out of my Jewish friend's book, being kosher. I just don't like what's been going on. Do you look at anybody else's TA or get feedback for your TA? Nick, no. I do not look at anyone else's stuff. I have not done for the last 10 years. And that's not to be arrogant. It's just that once you spend as much time as I have, to find what works for you, there ain't no looking back. There's only one person on this planet that can make my decisions, and that's me. I did, when I started out, I did get the opinions and viewpoints of others to help me, but not anymore. I know what I'm doing, and so many times before I've been told, oh, everyone says the market's going to go down, the market's going to fall, okay, it's fine, that's okay. I don't mind what you say. But more times than not, I've been right. And I'm not in this business to be right. I'm in this business to make money. Trades made with optimism and luck is my only strategy. Well, Mr. X-Wing Nut, use those big old ears of yours, tune in, and learn a bit more, brother. Where would be a good entry in ETH? ETH needs to push out of this consolidation period. It needs to go higher and then pull back. What about ETC? Yeah, okay, Ethereum Classic. Let's hit the margin pairs, right? I didn't take this long, but I know a bunch of people in my community did. Where are we? That's why it's got the little red thing here. The opportunity for Ethereum Classic was that pullback, which I pointed out. It's just the problem was, look, it's a bit thin. To get the size position that I want, it's a little bit thin, so I left that and took EOS instead, both of which have performed very, very well. Maybe it's competition. No, I'm not competing against anybody at all. Used to watch trading videos with TWP. Ha! Aaron, an OG. Yeah, brother. Yes, those guys, Nick, all those boys, they helped me a lot. You know who they are. And they were a big part of my success, my man. They were a big part of my success. That's pretty cool, though. I think that's really cool, actually. What is the price of Bitcoin? What is the price of Bitcoin? What is the price of BTC is this week? Mate, I hope it's good red wine. Yeah, the price right now is 8,748. Some people don't want to support Blockstream or Jack Dorsey, etc. too. I don't care what anyone supports. I'm supporting myself, trading the markets. What's your favorite coin outside the top 10? The one that trends the best. I am literally that straightforward. I'm that transparent. You want to know what I like? I like trends. I could not give a shit about anything else. Where's ADA going? Well, I hope it's going really well because I do invest in ADA. It's one of my top 10 picks. Not because I've got anything to do with fundamentals, just because I have looked into it and it makes a little bit of sense. My portfolio has a little bit of that. Good luck with your trading anyways. You too, Maxi boy. Nice to meet you. Support yourself, people. Yes, I agree. You can get knowledge and gain power from others, but at the end of the day, there's only one person that can make decisions for yourself. There's only one person that can hold that accountability, and that's yourself. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you'll probably be successful. Because if you stop blaming others for your success or failures, God damn it, you might actually become a success. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will wish you a very full-on awesome night. I'm going to leave now. I hope you've enjoyed this. Oh, hang on. What's your thoughts on Verge? No thoughts, I don't think. The thing right in front of me here. Now, if I could just swing this around. I've got two things in front of me. One is my daughter's face. One of my daughter's faces of a Father's Day picture where she's literally in a spaceship with her face saying, I love you, to the moon. Now, that is quite fitting in our market, of course, so that's there. And the other one is don't think. I don't think. I trade the charts. I see what I see, and I trade as I see fit. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have rules for your trading, get ready to burn some cash. Get yourself some rules. Do what you got to do. This is not for an advert. You enjoy yourself. I hope you've enjoyed this. My name is Craig Cobb of TraderCobb.com. Speak to you again very soon. Oh, and by the way, I think you've got to hit the bell or something. I don't know. Just make sure you follow me across my socials, guys. So when I go live next, you know what's up. Take it easy. Let's see Bitcoin hit 10,000 this week, ladies and gentlemen. Bye for now.